What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to a new Bossa Nova Brazilian guitar lesson. Okay, so today we're going to have a look at 5 chord progressions, 5 must-know chord progressions of this style. They're very typical. We're going to have a look at all of the most important Bossa Nova Brazilian guitar chords. Okay, we're going to have a look at these 5 chord progressions from the easiest to the most advanced. So I'm going to look forward to your comments to let me know which one is your favorite, and in general, if you were okay practicing them all, or if you were struggling with anything, feel free to let me know any questions you might have in the comments. So the first chord progression of today goes like this. So we are in the key of D. This is one of the most common chord progressions in this style, and the first chord is a D6/9, so the voicing for this is root, major 3rd, major 6th, major 9th. There's no 7th, and it's also mid 5, but you do play the 5th of this chord when you alternate the root with the 5th on the bass. So when you do this, okay, which is a typical movement of Bossa Nova guitar. I did talk about these things, guys, in other videos on the technique, on the basics of this style. We're not going to cover them today because today I want to really focus on the 5 chord progressions. But if you are interested in finding out more, I'll leave more resources in the description below so that you can catch up with any other lesson you've missed on Bossa Nova guitar on the channel. Now, from this first chord, we move to the second chord, which is an E9. When we say E9, we mean an E7 dominant, so this chord, extended to the 9th, which is this note here, and there you go. Even this position is on mid 5, like it happens very often in all style, really, when you play this chord, from funk to jazz to R&B, but even here we can play the 5th on the bass, alternating it with a root, like this kind of thing. Okay, now this second chord, the E9, then becomes an E minor 9, so we change the major 3rd, we replace it with the minor 3rd, and we get this E minor 9, beautiful voicing and very typical of Brazilian guitar. Still the same thing with a root and 5th on the bass. Okay, and then we go to the dominant chord, the 5, which is the A7, which in a very jazzy and Bossa Nova style we play with the 13th, okay, with the major 13th. So the voicing of this chord is root, minor 7th, major 3rd, major 13th, okay, so this is on mid 5. There you go. And then you come back to the 1, okay, to the D6/9. So again, just the chords, D6/9, E9, E minor 9, A13th, and back to D6/9. Okay, let's play it one last time. And this was our very first chord progression for today. Let's move on to the second chord progression. This has more of a samba flavor to me, and it goes like this. Okay, so there's a lot of syncopation going on. So you start from G major 7, we are now in the key of G, okay, classic D, classic G major 7 really. We then move to B flat 13th, okay, so the same dominant 7 chord extended to the 13th that we talked about before. In the key of D major we were playing an A7 13, now this is a B flat 7 13, but really you're just moving half step higher than what you learned in the previous chord progression, okay? So you go from G major 7, B flat 13, then E flat 6/9. Once more, that's the same chord position really as the D6/9 that we played before, but we are just moving half step across, okay? So that's E flat 6/9, and even here we can do the usual thing, you know, with the 5th on the bass. And then one final chord, it's going to be A flat 13. So same as the B flat 13, just 2 frets back. So recapping the positions, G major 7, B flat 13, E flat 6/9, then A flat 13 as well, and then going back to G major 7. The rhythm that I play, as I said, is a more syncopated samba feel, like. Okay, obviously you play it a little quicker and you also include this kind of thing, so. Okay guys, so this was the second chord progression, ready for the third, which has more of a jazzy, bossa nova, but also minor blues kind of feel, and you will see why. So this to me sounds more like a blue bossa, right? So we are in the key of C minor. We're going to play the C minor as a C minor 9. So root, minor 3rd, minor 7th, and major 9th, like that. Obviously we omit 5, but we can always play the 5th on the bass. We've learned that now. And then the same exact chord position, you will be playing it as an F minor 9. So you go from the 1 minor to the 4 minor, right? And then there is just a 2-5-1 minor to come back to C minor. So the 2 is the D half diminished, okay, minor 7 flat 5. The 5 is a G7, but G7 altered because we're going to a 1 minor. And this chord that I'm playing particularly is a G7 sharp 5, okay? So there is the augmented 5th, but you could play, you know, the flat 9 if you like that. The sharp 9, up to you really, and then C minor. So all together, slowly. Now the fourth chord progression is a little bit more challenging, mainly for the chord positions. So let's have a look at the chords slowly. Okay, so we are in the key of D minor. The first chord is D minor 9. Then we have a passing chord. And this passing chord is a C sharp, diminished 7th. Okay, first time in this lesson that we find the diminished 7th chord. Here is a C sharp diminished 7th. We keep going chromatically down to C minor, but we play a C minor 6, 9. So we are going to do this beautiful position. This chord is really a gem, it's really fantastic. I love it. And then from here we keep going chromatically down with the bass note. We go to B, but we're gonna play the B on fret 7 of the E string, and we play this G7 in first inversion. So it's a G7 over B. That's why I said the note on the bass is B, but the chord is a G7, okay? That's a major 3rd, root, perfect 5th, minor 7. So just a G7, but with the B on the bass. Okay, and then from here we keep going down, okay, for one last time chromatically to B flat. So we started from D and we reached the B flat chromatically to play a B flat major 7, okay, so D minor 9, C sharp diminished, C minor 6 this time, then B on the bass to play this beautiful G7 over B, then B flat major 7, we then go to E flat major 7, we move only one finger up to play E minor 7 flat 5, the half diminished. Again, the half diminished is a chord that we learned in the previous chord progression as a D half diminished. Now we're just playing E half diminished. And then we're gonna play this A7 sharp 5, okay, to go back to D minor. Okay, so that's the full chord progression. Let's play only the chords slowly so that you can start practicing the positions first, and then you're gonna add the rhythm. Now, speaking about rhythm, we haven't said exactly which patterns you can play with these chord progressions, but this is mainly because you can use any pattern you already know of Brazilian music, of bossa nova music, with all of these chord progressions, and they're just gonna sound amazing because the chord progressions are truly unique of this style. But if you do want to see exactly note by note what I'm playing and what's the rhythm that I played for all of these chord progressions, you can head to my Patreon page where I will upload a tab and music notation of all of these examples. So if you are interested, you can just go there, grab your tab, download it, follow along with this lesson and just practice as much as you can until you really feel comfortable with the timing of these chord progressions as well. Okay, now let's get into the fifth and final chord progression. We are still in the key of D minor, and this sounds like this. Right, so this is a little bit more challenging. Let's have a look at the chords. So we start from D minor. This time we play a D minor 7, and we still alternate root and perfect fifth on the bass. To then go to B and play a B diminished 7th, okay? So this is just another position for the diminished 7th that we did play in the 4th chord progression of this video. And it goes like this, beautiful chord. And then from here we go chromatically down to B flat, and we play a new position that we haven't played yet today, which is B flat minor 6. Okay, this is really like a minor 7 chord, but we move the minor 7th down to the major 6th, and we get a B flat minor 6. Okay? Then from here, we play an A, 7 sharp 5, which we did play before. This time, just because I come from a B flat minor 6, I like to keep these two fingers down. Okay, just find it more comfortable, but otherwise you can play with the ring finger like I did before, that's up to you. Then D minor 7 again, and then a 2-5, very quick actually, playing E minor 7 flat 5. A7 sharp 5 again, but then I also play the triton of this 5, okay, the triton of A7 sharp 5, which is E flat 9, okay, and it creates this okay, which is a 2-5 with a replacement chord, a chord substitution, a triton substitution, and then here to D minor 7. It's normal, guys, that in bossa nova you really find many things typical of jazz music, because the harmony is really the jazz harmony that you find in the real book, that you find in the standards that you play. It's just that we also add a little bit of flavor with the melodies and the rhythm coming from samba and traditional music from Brazil. Alright guys, that's all for this lesson. Let me know in the comments what's your favorite chord progression, and if you have any questions about any of these chords, any of these chord progressions, I'm happy to help in the comments below. If you want to find out more about the rhythms that I play with these chords, so the actual patterns that my right hand was playing, you can find them all on my Patreon page. You can just head there, the link is in the description below, and download the full tab and music notation for all of these examples. Anyway, thanks for watching guys, and see you in the next video.